Hey guys, this is Lauren Lando from ESS and Eric Bach. Today we're just going to go through a couple progressions in trunk or core activation. A lot of times there's exercises that are being done that are just purely plain sexy, and at the end of the day we have to get to the effective exercises. And one thing we have to understand when we're looking at how our body recruits muscle and tissue and the muscles needed to do a job are ultimately based on need. And what we'll find is there's muscles that do stability work, and they're more endurance based, and they're more postural stabilizers. A lot of times these muscles get overlooked or overjumped in exercise sequences. So sometimes we have to regress, pull back, and even add in these exercises into our programming. Even after we've done all of our explosive and big heavy movements, we've got to go back to these finite exercises that help solidify postural integrity. The first one we're going to do, Eric's going to get down into on his back position. We're going to do a draw-in. He's going to start in a knee flexed, hip flexed position. From here, he's going to flatten his low back to his side, so I can't create any type of movement underneath his low back. He's going to draw his navel, his belly button, in towards his spine, almost like he's sucking in. He's going to draw the navel into the spine. It's very important as he pulls in, he's going to hold for a 5-second count, and then he's going to relax. Now, it's important to continue breathing as he does this, but also not to recruit the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscle. We want to make sure that he's not creating any type of forceful flexion, want-to action. Instead, he's pulling the navel in towards his spine. He's holding for a 5-second count. He's still able to breathe as he does this. However, the entire time he's maintaining a flat back position. We can do this for 3 sets of about 30 to 45 seconds of alternating 5 seconds on, 5 seconds off. The next progression we can take this to, same idea, we'll build out the progression. Eric's going to draw in, and now he's going to hold that draw in. He's going to pull the navel towards his spine, low back is flat, and now he's going to go into a slow, deliberate, alternating leg march. He's going to slightly pull the leg off the ground, holding position. As the pelvis is wanting to shift, he's holding position. He's going to slowly come down, and the second this heel touches, he's going to slowly shift the left leg right off the ground. Again, maintaining low back flat position, drawing in for the entirety of the set. And Eric will tend to do this for about 3 to 4 reps a side, depending on speed, but maintain for about 45-60 seconds. These exercises can also serve as a great cool down as well. Slow and deliberate action, pulling the navel down towards his spine, keeping the low back flat. From here, our next progression will initiate into a hip flex position. Now Eric's going to extend the lever, giving him more challenge against the trunk. He's going to extend the leg. Once the heel brushes the ground, he's going to pull the heel toward his rear end. From here, he's going to shift to the other leg, into hip flexion. He's going to come out into knee extension and hip extension. Slowly, as the lever gets longer, it becomes more challenging on the trunk. All the while, he's holding the low back flat position and drawing the navel in toward the spine. Again, repeating this for about 45 to 60 seconds of work as well. We'll get one more on this side. Very deliberate action. This is a very difficult series of exercises if they're done with the right intent. It's about being slow, deliberate, and getting the right tissues involved. Now Eric's going to flip over into a quadruped position. Now we're going to go into an exercise that's commonly known as a bird dog. Eric's going to go into a contralateral pattern of extremities. So his upper extremity and his lower extremity are going to work in opposition. The first things first, we're going to look for a neutral position from ear, shoulder, hip. Now Eric's going to go into extension patterns with the upper extremity and lower extremity. The trunk is engaged. He's squeezing the glutes, and he's trying to minimize how much movement or play he gets in the lumbopelvic complex. He's going to come back down to the center position, and he's going to switch sides. Again, I'm paying attention to what's happening at the lumbopelvic complex, and sometimes your athletes or clients will get set up into these positions in the wrong position. So we need to make sure when they're in the kneeling position that there's not too much lumbopelvic dip or too much lordotic curve. So if I see an athlete who's too anteriorly tilted, I'll have them, if they're too anteriorly tilted, I'll bring them back up into more of a neutral base position to start. If they do not start in a good position, chances of them finding a good position in the middle of the set is pretty hard. We'll go one more side here. Again, as Eric's extending, he's dorsiflexing his foot, increasing the length tension of the posterior chain of the lower extremity. He's squeezing the glute, and he's working good shoulder mobility through the upper extremity at the same time. Staying engaged in the trunk. And now I'm giving him the cue of being braced. I'm not necessarily telling Eric to draw in. I'm saying brace. Squeeze that quad a little more. Down. The alignment is critical on these exercises. And rest. So this is just a few exercise progressions that you can do. Again, these can be used in the warm-up piece. This can be used as cool-down pieces. These can be used as your in-between or your auxiliary-based exercises in between your major moving exercises for that day.